what your future self would want you to notice about the places where you keep asking for approval. Would she thank you for waiting for permission? Or would she just gently remind you that you were allowed to trust yourself sooner? Maybe your future self is not waiting for you to become more confident. Maybe she's simply waiting for you to believe what you already know. Sometimes we do not notice how much validation we are waiting for. Not because we are weak, and not because we are needy, but because somewhere along the way, we started looking outside of ourselves for proof that we are okay. Proof that we made the right choice. Proof that we looked right. Proof that we said the right thing. Proof that we are lovable. Proof that we matter. And I think many of us have done this quietly. We check the room. And we check the reaction. We check the tone of someone's voice. We check the number of likes. We check who responded. We check who did not. And before we know it, our peace is sitting in somebody else's hands. That is a very delicate place to leave your peace. It reminds me of handing someone your house key and then being surprised when you cannot get inside yourself. And the truth is, most people are not trying to hold our peace hostage. They are just living their own lives. They are distracted. They are tired. They are carrying the invisible bags. Sometimes they do not clap because they did not notice the moment. And sometimes they don't respond because they are overwhelmed themselves. And sometimes they do not affirm us because they are still learning how to affirm themselves. And if we are not careful, we can start making the silence mean something about our worth. And that's where reflection matters. Because reflection, it helps us pause before we turn someone else's reaction into our identity. Maybe the question is not, why did they not validate me? Maybe the softer question is, what part of me still believes I need permission to trust myself? That's one that sits a little deeper, because needing less validation does not mean we stop caring. It does not mean we become cold. It does not mean we pretend we do not want to be encouraged. We're human. Encouragement feels good, but being seen feels good. Being understood feels good. There is nothing wrong with wanting someone to say, I see you. But the difference is whether the validation becomes as a gift or a requirement. A gift can be warm to you, and a requirement can control you. And sometimes we do not realize how much control we have given away until one person does not respond the way we hoped. Then suddenly the whole day feels different. One comment can lift us. One silence can shrink us. One opinion can make you question something we were not clear about 5 minutes ago. That is a lot of power to hand over. I think of it like carrying a little mirror around and asking everybody, can you tell me who I am? And people will answer based on their own eyesight. Some will see clearly, and some will see through their own fear. And some will see through jealousy. Some will see through love. Some will see only a version of you that benefits them. And now you're standing there trying to build yourself from everybody else's reflection. No wonder it gets confusing. At some point, we have to come back home to our own knowing. Quietly, gently, not with arrogance, just with honesty. And there is a difference between confidence and performance. Performance says, please approve of me. Confidence says, I'm still learning to trust what I know. That feels more human to me, because most of us are not walking around fully certain all the time. I know I'm not. And half of the time, we're figuring things out as we go. Sometimes we have our brave and unsure at the same time. Sometimes we post a thing and then stare at it like it might bite us. Sometimes we make the decision and still wonder if we choose it right. That is human. But needing less validation, we do not need to abandon ourselves every time doubt starts to walk in. We can doubt and still stay connected with ourselves. We can ask for support without begging for permission. We can receive feedback without handing over our identity. And we can let people have opinions without making every opinion a verdict. That takes practice. That is work. And it usually starts in small moments. Like choosing an outfit because you like it before you ask who else likes it. Like creating a thing before wondering if people will understand it. Like saying no without needing a full courtroom defense. Like celebrating your progress even when no one else saw how hard it was. Some victories are quiet. Some healing is quiet. Some growth happens in places no one claps for. But it still counts. I wonder how many beautiful parts of us we have delayed because we were waiting to be confirmed first. Waiting for the perfect response. Waiting for someone to just understand. Waiting for someone to say, yes, that's good enough. But what if your future self is not waiting for more approval? What if your future self is waiting for you to trust yourself a little sooner? Maybe she's looking back with tenderness, saying, you do not need everybody to understand the first step. You just need to take it. You don't need to be chosen by every room. You needed to stop having yourself outside your own door. You don't need constant validation. You needed a deeper relationship with your own voice. That is the connection through reflection. It keeps bringing me back to myself. And when we reflect, we begin to recognize the places where we have been asking the world to give us what we have not learned to give ourselves. And once we notice that, we can become gentler with ourselves. We can still enjoy encouragement. We can still receive love. We can still appreciate being seen. But we stop making our worth dependent on whether someone else remembers to say it out loud. Because your worth is not waiting in someone's reflection. Your worth is not hiding inside of applause. Your worth is not sitting inside someone's approval. It is already within you. Maybe buried under old doubts. Maybe quiet from years of being questioned. Maybe tired from trying to prove itself. But it's still there. And maybe needing less validation is not about becoming someone who never needs reassurance. Maybe it's about becoming someone who already knows how to return to themselves again and again and again. This is Queen Serenity, Lena Esther Cruz, Mother Queen of AI, creator of Serenity AI, founder of Serenity to Mindset, helping people connect with themselves so they can connect more deeply with others. And Serenity AI is a reflection generated from you interacting, not perfect truth. It is a reflective place where you can question your patterns and be more self-aware and explore more deeply. And before you go, here are a few questions to sit with. Where in your life are you still waiting for permission to trust yourself? Whose approval has been carrying more weight than it deserves? What would change if encouragement became a gift instead of a requirement? What is the one decision your future self would want you to make from self-trust rather than validation?